There is a moment coming, and you can feel it, can't you? That specific moment when everything shifts, when the person you've been waiting for, the one you've been preserved for, finally stops being a question mark in your life and becomes your answer. Your celibacy ends with this person. This will be your first and last true love. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I've heard this before. I've watched 100 videos that told me he is coming. And I'm still here, alone, on my couch at 11 p.m. Yeah, I know. And that's exactly why you need to hear what I'm about to say. Because this isn't about a prediction. This is about a pattern. A pattern I watched play out in real people's lives, in real bedrooms, in real 3 a.m. tears. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Most people hear the word celibacy and they think it's just about a season or a choice or something you're enduring until the right person comes along. And that's true for a lot of people. But if you're watching this, if this title landed on you specifically, you already know it's not that simple for you. You're not just waiting for anyone. You're waiting for the one. And you've known for a while that when they show up, everything changes, including this, including you. So here's what we're actually talking about today. Not whether someone wants you, not whether you're desirable, you already know you are. The question is, what happens when the person who is meant for you finally stops being afraid of how much they want you? What happens when the holding back ends on both sides? And what if the reason you have been celibate, the reason nothing else has ever felt right, is because you were literally being preserved for this, for them, for the life you are about to walk into? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you about something I watched happen more times than I can count, and you are gonna recognize yourself in it. I've seen someone, a person just like you, who'd done all the work, successful, beautiful, had their life together, and exhausted, not from dating, from that specific kind of loneliness that comes when you are in a room full of people and nobody actually sees you. They'd been celibate for years at that point, not because of some rule, because nothing else felt true. They'd go on dates, meet people who were perfectly fine, and something in them would just not show up. Like the real them was off somewhere else, waiting for something they couldn't even name. And then they met someone, not dramatic, just a person who showed up in their life in a way that felt different. And you know that feeling when your whole body knows before your brain catches up. Like every cell is saying, oh yeah, there you are. And it's terrifying because the feeling is so big, so immediate, that you do what most of us do when something real arrives. You pull back. You play it cool. You wait for them to make the first move, and they do, sort of. They text, you talk, there is this obvious pull, but they never fully step in. And you start to wonder if you imagined the whole thing. Turns out they didn't imagine it. They were just as terrified. They'd been celibate even longer than you, not out of principle, but because they'd made enough mistakes to know that casual wasn't going to cut it anymore. And when they met you, something in them locked up. Not because they didn't want you, because they wanted you so much it scared them. They didn't trust themselves to be around you without wanting all of you. And they wanted to be worthy of all of your first. And here's the part that makes me want to do something. They are out there right now, probably staring at their phone, reading an old text from you, working up for courage, and you are here, staring at your phone, wondering why they haven't called. Two people, same fear, same love, separated by something but the courage to send one stupid message. I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're thinking that sounds beautiful and all, but they still didn't step up. I'm still waiting, so what's the point? And yeah, that's the part that aches. The point is, this is what it looks like when two people are holding the same fear. Two people both waiting for the other one to be brave first. Both so terrified of ruining something real, they end up standing still. And that stillness, that's not peace, that's paralysis. And it's exactly what happens when the feeling is real and neither person knows what to do with it. But here is what I need you to understand. Paralysis doesn't last forever. Something breaks. And in every single story I've watched where it worked out, every single one, the person who broke it was the one who finally said, I'd rather be rejected than keep wondering. Not loud, not dramatic, just honest. So let's talk about what actually breaks the pattern, because this is the part nobody tells you. They tell you to wait for the right person. They tell you to guard your heart. They tell you celibacy is about self-respect and boundaries, and all of that is true. All of that is true. I don't deny it. But what they don't tell you is that when the right person shows up, your body knows before your mind does. And your body doesn't do waiting. Your body does wanting. I've watched this happen so many times. Someone who's been celibate for years, sometimes decades, meets someone and suddenly everything they thought they knew about waiting gets complicated. Because the wanting isn't just physical, it's not just attraction. It's this deep, almost primal recognition. Like your soul is saying, finally, I can stop holding my breath. And that's where the fear comes in. Because if you have spent years building walls, years telling yourself you're waiting for a reason, years learning to be alone and okay with it, the last thing you expect is for someone to walk in and make all of those walls feel like they were never even there. And that's disorienting. It's vulnerable. It's the kind of vulnerable most people will do anything to avoid. The person on your mind, the one you've been thinking about, the one who maybe feels like they are pulling back or being hot or cold. Here's what I've observed about people in that position. They are not pulling back because they don't want you. They are pulling back because they want you in a way they have never wanted anyone. Think about it. And they don't know what to do with that. They don't have a framework for it. Their past relationships, the ones that didn't work, those were easy compared to this. Because those relationships didn't ask anything real of them. This one asks everything. I want you to really sit with that word, everything. Everything. Not your good side, not your Sunday best, everything. The 3 a.m. thoughts, the way you look when you've been crying, the version of you that's not sure they are lovable. They want all of it. And that's exactly what they are most afraid of. That when you see how much they want you, of you, want all of you, you will run. And I've seen this specifically in people who've also been celibate or who have taken long breaks from intimacy. When you stop being intimate casually, when you stop giving yourself away in small pieces, something happens. You become more sensitive to energy, more sensitive to what's real. And when you meet someone whose energy matches yours, when you meet someone who also stopped playing games, it's overwhelming. It's not just physical attraction, it's spiritual. It's like two frequencies finally finding each other, and the resonance is so strong you don't know whether to move closer or run. And most people run, at least at first. They run because the feeling is too big. They run because they have been hurt before. They run because they'd rather be the one who leaves than the one who gets left. But here's what I've noticed about the ones who come back. The ones who finally stop running. They don't come back because they got tired of running. They come back because they realize the running was the lie. The staying, the choosing, that's the truth. And it takes a certain kind of person to recognize that. The kind of person God builds slowly, carefully, with intention. And I think that's you. I think you're that kind of person. Because if you were not, you would have settled by now. You would have taken the easy love, the one that doesn't ask anything of you, but you didn't. You're still here, still waiting, still hoping. That's not weakness. That's the most expensive thing you own. So let's get really specific about what's actually happening inside this person. Because I think you need to hear this. I think you have been projecting your own fear into them, assuming that if they are not moving, they are not feeling. And that's almost never how it works. What I've seen over and over is that the person who holds back is usually the one who feels the most. They are the ones who lies awake at night, replaying your conversations. They are the one who's written the message, deleted it, rewritten it, saved it to drafts, and then closed the form. They are the one who looks at your photos and feels this ache. They can't explain to anyone, because how do you explain that someone you're not even with yet has already become essential to you? And here is the part that breaks my heart about this. They want to tell you, they want to cross the room, reach for your hand, say the thing they have been practicing in their head for months. But they are terrified that if they do, you will see how much it means to them. And if you see that, you will have the power. And they have given power away before. They have loved too hard, too fast, too openly, and watched someone use it against them. So they have learned to hold back. They have learned to make themselves small. They have learned that wanting too much is dangerous. But here's what they haven't learned yet. They haven't learned that you are not the person who punishes waiting. They haven't learned that you have been waiting too. That you've been celibate, maybe not physically, but emotionally. Emotionally, because nothing else ever felt safe enough to actually show up for. And that's the tragedy of it. Two people, both protecting themselves from the exact same fear, both missing each other because neither one will blink first. I've watched this happen with people I love. I've watched them lose years to this dance. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it because I think you need to know the waiting has a cost. The holding back has a cost. And at some point, someone has to decide that the cost is staying still is higher than the cost of moving back forward. So let me ask you something, and I want you to actually answer this, even if it's just in your head. What would you do if you absolutely knew that they were just as scared as you? That they were waiting for you to give them one sign, one green light, one moment of honesty. Would you still be sitting there? Or would you finally pick up the phone? Here's the question I want you to sit with. Not answer, just sit with. What if the person you're waiting for is waiting for you? What if they are not distant because they don't care? What if they are distant because they care so much? They don't trust themselves to be close to you without wanting all of you. And what if the reason nothing else has ever worked, the reason you've been celibate or single or just holding back, is because you were literally being preserved for someone who could handle all of you? I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like a fairy tale. I've sat with enough people, watched enough real life stories unfold to know that the fairy tale version isn't the real version. The real version is messier. The real version involves two people who are both a little broken, both a little scared, both carrying stuff from the past that they haven't fully healed. And somehow, not because they are perfect, but because they are willing, they find each other anyway. And here is what I've noticed about the ones who make it. They don't make it because they are lucky. They make it because at some point, one of them decides that the fear of losing the person is bigger than the fear of getting hurt. And that decision, that's not a one-time thing, that's a daily thing, that's a waking up and choosing each other over and over, even on the days when it's hard, even on the days when the old patterns scream at you to pull back. The person you're thinking about, the one who maybe hasn't stepped up yet, they are capable of that. I've seen it in the energy. They are not playing games. They are not stringing you along. They are genuinely terrified and genuinely in love. And genuinely don't know how to hold both of those things at the same time. And that's the work. That's what they are learning right now. That's why the timing is what it is. God, our God, doesn't waste a reason or a season. Not even this one. Not even the waiting. Not even the nights when you wonder if you imagined the whole thing. That ache you've been carrying, that's not a mistake. That's not a glitch. That's preparation. That's God building something in you that you couldn't build on your own. So, what do you actually do with this? I'm not going to tell you to manifest harder. I'm not going to tell you to do a ritual. I'm going to tell you something much simpler and much harder. You get still, you get honest, and you ask yourself, if I wasn't afraid of being rejected, what would I say to them right now? And this is the part that separates the ones who get the love story from the ones who just watch them. You say it. Not to be cute, not to get a response, just to be true. Your job right now isn't to make them move. Your job is to stay open, to keep your heart soft, even when it's scared, to keep trusting that what God put in motion doesn't need you to micromanage it, and to keep living your life fully, richly, without holding your breath, waiting for them to catch up. Because the version of you that's fully alive, fully yourself, fully in your power, that's the version they are going to fall in love with. Not the version that's been waiting by the phone. And I want to say something to you directly now, not to everyone watching, to you. You're someone who feels things other people numb out from. You are someone who can't accept the surface version of anything, especially not love. You are carried questions that don't have comfortable answers, and you've kept carrying them anyway. That's not a burden, that's a design. God built you to see what others miss, to wait for what others settle without, to hold out for the real thing even when the real thing takes longer than you hoped. That's the thing you've been holding back, not just physically, but the whole you, the version of you that actually wants, actually aches, actually knows what it's waiting for. That version isn't a problem to solve. That's the real you. Finally ready to be seen. Finally ready to stop performing and start being. And when that version meets the person who's been waiting for you, not a fantasy, not a projection, but the actual person God prepared, the celibacy ends. The waiting ends. Not because you gave in, because you finally came home. You've been doing it longer than you know. And now you get to stop. Now you get to be held. Now you get to be the one someone crosses the room for. The one someone stops running from. the one someone finally chooses. Not because you are perfect, because you're theirs and they are yours. And that was the whole point of all along. My voice trembling. So here's your prophecy, not a prediction. Those are for people who need to feel in comfort. A prophecy is different. A prophecy is a truth that's already written, just waiting for you to catch up to it. And the truth is, you don't find this person by searching. You don't manifest them by doing the right rituals or saying the right affirmations. You find them by becoming so fully, so unapologetically yourself, that the universe has no choice but to hand you to each other. It's already in motion, has been for longer than you know. The sleepless nights, the ache you can't explain, the way you feel them even when they are not there. That's not your imagination. That's the signal. That's the part of you that already knows the ending. And the ending is this. You will be face to face with them sooner than your fear wants you to believe. And in that moment, every single weight, every single tear, every single night you thought would never end, it will all make sense. Not because it was easy, because it was leading there and here, to them, to you, to both of you finally standing in the same room, breathing the same air, not needing to say a word because your souls already did. So here's what I want you to do right now, before you close this video, before you go back to your night. I want you to put your hand on this chest, on this one. Actually, physically put it here, there. And I want you to take one deep breath. And then I want you to say this out loud, even if just this whisper, even if you feel ridiculous, say it. I am ready for my person, and they are ready for me. That's it. That's the whole thing. Not because the words are magic, because you just told yourself something your heart has been waiting to hear. And then, if you want to make it real, if you want to leave your mark on this moment, go to the comments and write your name. Just your name. Just assign it. Like you're signing the most important document of your life, because in a way you are. This is your declaration, your signature on the truth that you are doing, that you are done waiting, done doubting, done making yourself small. Your name, right there, as a witness to yourself, as proof that tonight you stopped hoping and started knowing. And watch what happens when you do. Not in the comments, in you.